Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another plan with me, this time in my A&B6 planner, and I'm going to use this kit from River and Ink. So let's take a look. This is this upcoming week, but let's take a look at how this last week has fared. Oh my word, I am obsessed. This is definitely my favorite layout. I love this. The scripts fit perfectly in where I need them to. Yes, like I'm obsessed. Like I'm speechless. So I'm really excited. Like look at that. It just is just amazing. So I do have this one to plan out and prep for this upcoming week, which I've already kind of laid some things down. So I think we're gonna kind of do the same thing with this kit. Let's see. I mean, I have my trusty dusty mat right here, so I should be able. I know there's some bottom washi, so I think they're both long strips. Yes, they are, and they are both okay. All right, we'll figure this one out as we go along. Oh, I have this thing. I can use this thing. All right, let's find the halfway point. Let's see what looks great as being a halfway point. How about if I move it up some? That might actually help me out a lot. I really love this mat. I absolutely adore it because it just helps. It just helps me out in measuring all of this out. And yeah, so get you a small little cutting mat. Okay, come on. Okay, why are we not? I can, like, it's not. There we go. That was super weird how it didn't want to like cut, but that's okay. So yeah, I am using up my stash of stickers because that's what I need to do, because one, Halloween's coming along. Well, I am gonna need all the Halloween. Okay, I can definitely tell that I was not perfect on this, but that is okay. I'm not gonna fault anybody but myself on that one. Not too bad. Not too shabby. So yeah, but yeah, Halloween is coming up, and I know I'm not gonna have any chill come this next week when it comes to all the Halloween stuff in the TPC group. I can tell you that right now. Just it's not. I'm just gonna be going for it. That's just how it's gonna be, and I'm completely okay with that. Oh yeah, see, I did not get this halfway. It is what it is. I tried my best. Without totally measuring everything out, I did my best, and I'm okay with it. I'm also from the camp that everything just does not have to be perfect. Sometimes it's those small little imperfections that just make everything just better. Like, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all like to have, a perfect looking spread, but I just don't always think that it's something that's required. So I'm gonna embrace the imperfections that are, because we all know I can't tear washi straight. Clearly, even with a marked mat, I can't cut anything straight. So we're gonna embrace that, and that's okay. All right. So this is my B6 household planner. This is what I use for tracking things that need to be done around the house. So chores, things that I need to keep on my radar, honeydew lists, things like that. So that's what we use this for, and I've got a ton of scripts now for them, so I'm super excited. All right, So let's just jump right into this. Do I have the date dots? I do. All right, so we're going for the 15th. Let's get these bad boys out of here. These cute little squares work perfectly. Sometimes my fingers don't want to cooperate, but I'm completely fine with that. So, all right, so we have our chickens, and we have suffered our first casualty. We don't know what happened. We don't think it was the heat, although it has been extremely, extremely hot down here. So our hens are doing fine. So we have, well, we're not entirely positive that they're all hens, but the ones that we got from the first farm are all doing fine. They are thriving and doing well. We were told they were all hens, but we have a couple that are acting like roosters. Now, we have never had roosters before, so I don't know what to fully expect when it comes to roosters and how they're supposed to act. I mean, kind of just learn as I go, you know, and just do my best to give a great environment to these animals. That's my goal at the end of the day. But so we think we have a couple of roosters in with the ones that we were told were hens. So we'll figure that one out. But they were at least all from the same farm, so we're cool with that. But because we thought they were all hens, we knew we wanted to get a rooster. So we live out in the country. Currently, right now, our chickens are not free roaming. We have them in basically a chicken tractor. So we move them every day to new area on the property so that they can, you know, essentially it's a pseudo free roaming type thing. And part of that is because we have hawks. Ooh, we have hawks. In fact, we have these huge turkey vultures too. And they were chilling up in our tree not too long ago. Those things are massive. We had them sitting on top of our house too. I was like, yep, I'm in the country. That's for sure. I live in the city of the country type thing. So the city we have is actually the central city for the county. So it's where we have the courthouse. It's where you have all of the county seats, things like that. So, and we live just down the street from all of that. So we're not completely out in the country, but we're enough. And so we have these really big hawks. In fact, the hawks actually eye Mojo when he's out there, and I don't think he realizes this, and we're just like, so we actually have the kids are required to go out with the dogs. Well, somebody's always required to go out with the dogs at any time, and one of that is because we also do have stray cats that come around. We have found them in our yard many times before, but they we just do it as a safety precaution, one for the dogs and two for anybody else. Even though we have a fenced yard, it's just so that if our dogs do come across a cat, they're not chasing after it and possibly hurting themselves. And likewise, if we have a predator on the property, it's not trying to possibly attack our dog either. I should say dogs, but although I think if anybody saw our German Shepherd, I mean, that's a pretty big dog. That's probably not gonna stick around to see if it's gonna win that fight. So, but we do have some hawks, and they definitely eye Mojo. And we see them, and I'm just like, and Mojo's so oblivious to it all. I love the dog, but he's so oblivious. I'm like, you you don't realize that you're being sized up, and you know, one of these days these hawks are gonna, especially if our German Shepherd isn't around or something, these hawks are gonna get a little brave and probably try and dive for him. So yeah, poor Mojo. But anyways, we have hawks, so we knew we wanted to have a rooster around to kind of help do what roosters do, help protect the hens and things like that, and stuff. But because he came from another, okay, I'm trying to think what I can do here, because I have chores. Okay, let's get these these boxes down on the bottom, and to keep them so that they're all on the same line type thing. Since I cut this bottom washi so short, we're just gonna all line them up on the same line. But anyways, getting back to our casualty, because he came from a different farm, we knew that we needed to quarantine him just to ensure that, you know, nobody's getting sick or anything like that. And we don't think it was the heat, because he was over in the shade. He was had food, had water. We had just checked on him a couple of hours prior, but it was also over where there's a lot of wooded trees that we have on our property, and we think something may have spooked him and caused him to stress out that way or something. I don't know, but all of a sudden we just, you know, we went right back a couple hours later, because that's what we've been doing. We've been checking on them every couple of hours throughout the heat of the day to ensure that nobody is dying. And he was just laying on the ground, and we have no clue what happened. No clue. So yeah, we're like, okay. I mean, we'd already planned on getting some more hens. So we have another small batch of 4 hens, and they are actually much bigger than the last hens we had. Or the first batch that we got here is what I should say. And they're doing just fine. So we have absolutely no idea what happened to the rooster. My husband's been in contact with a farmer that does a lot of chickens and been talking with them, trying to figure out, did we do something wrong? And they're like, no, you didn't do anything wrong. You were keeping him hydrated. He could have just been stressed out. He could have jumped and hurt himself. Like, there's just a whole bunch of things that could have happened. We just honestly just don't know what it was. So yeah, poor Eddie. Poor Eddie. He was such a gorgeous rooster too. And it just kind of, you know, I don't want any animal to ever suffer. So it makes me sad that I don't know exactly what caused him to die, and stuff. But yeah, I know that this is actually, you know, the heat. I mean, it could have been the heat. We just don't think it was. But I mean, it's no joke. Farmers are losing their animals left and right because of this heat, and losing crops. I mean, we had to move our garden because it's just so hot. We needed to move it to a more shaded area, and everything. And once we did, the plants actually perked back up, so that's actually really, really good. But I mean, it's crazy. It's just absolutely nuts with heat right now. So yeah, we are not going to get another rooster at this time. We have decided we're just going to keep them in the chicken tractor. Here in about the next maybe 10 days, we will introduce the new hens to the first batch that we got and see if they will cooperate together. And go from there. I think the one way that we're gonna get our rooster is if we buy chicks, and we actually buy a rooster with those chicks, so that we actually buy a couple of males just to ensure that they survive and everything, and then that way we can immediately just have them all together and don't have to worry about quarantining because coming from different farms. So last thing we want is like any sickness is happening amongst the chickens. So we keep our eye on all of those things and ensure that if any avian flu type stuff is coming around, yeah, like we're trying to be very responsible homesteaders is at the end of the day. All right, I need to figure this out. So I'm really sad that he died, and I hope it wasn't like, I hope he didn't suffer at the end of the day. I hope he didn't suffer, because that would break my heart. But yeah, so we'll figure out if we have a rooster in with our hens right now, and stuff. But yeah, all right, so speaking of chores, I'm gonna lay these ones down. Speaking of chores, so my kids have had the great pleasure of learning that sometimes hard work can pay off. So we don't pay our children for chores. We never have, we never will. The chores that you are assigned is just part of you living here. I constantly talk to my kids about how we are a community and we all do our part. Now, if they do extra above and beyond that stuff, then they get rewarded. Like, that's just, that's just how it works. And part of that is so for them to learn that, when you hit adulthood, you're not going to get paid for doing your chores. These are part of your responsibility. When you move out on your own, you're going to have to do these things. You might as well learn the proper and efficient way to do them now, so that as an adult, you're not struggling. Because raise your hand if you know an adult who struggles with basic chores like laundry or dishes or even cooking. So I actually do not want my kids to do that. Okay, so you're probably gonna wonder why I'm doing this when you have watched my week's video and be like, but you had dinners down there. So yes, that is true. However, I don't always eat, dang it, I don't always eat what the family is eating. Sometimes I get outvoted on foods for the week, so everybody gets a say in what we have for dinner. My kids are older now, so I don't have to, worry about so much of it. Everybody gets a say. However, if it's something that somebody doesn't really like, they are in charge of doing their own dinner for that evening, and that includes myself. So, all right, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have blank spaces for chores. So let's go ahead and put these down. I'm hoping this works out to my advantage. It probably won't, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. So by getting back to it, our kids have chores every single day. And, we have soda in this house. So we have cans. Our kids are not allowed as much soda as I drink, and I wish I really could cut the habit. But they have, one of the chores for one of the kids is that he needs to rinse out the cans and take them outside and get them prepped in a bag ready to go to the recycling center, because we don't have recycling pickup, which is not always a bad thing. So they have been saving up their cans. My husband let them know, hey, we have a recycling center nearby. We can take the cans when they're, you know, when they're full, and you guys can take and earn money. But I'm not going to help you with this at all. I'm not going to bag up the cans. I'm not gonna tell you to rinse them out or things like this. And so our youngest son has been collecting the cans, and where are my scissors are all the way over there. Okay, this wasn't cut all the way through, and so I need to cut it. There's my trusty dusty mat. This I should be able to get just right. So but anyways, he's like, I'm not going to help you, you know, package them up. Your brothers are not going to help you package them up, things like this. And he has worked, and he asked his siblings to come help him package up, because a couple of the bags broke yesterday, and he asked them, can you please come help me do this? And his brother said, okay, yeah, and his sister said, yeah. And so they worked together and went and got all the cans ready and took them to the recycling center, and ended up making almost $20. And they came back absolutely thrilled and motivated. So yeah, we definitely, let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have 5 spots. So that gives me, plus the feed chickens. Okay, that should be plenty. I'm just going to put the scripts down. I don't think I'm going to use anything else. I just kind of feel, I hate having white space, you guys. And on over here, I just don't think there's going to be anything that gets put in here for this upcoming week. So, but yeah. And so I'm actually really excited for them. Really excited that they got to see that sometimes hard work, waiting, and patience can actually pay off. I mean, $17 in the grand scheme of things to us is not a huge deal, but to some kids, they're like, yes. And so they all collectively agreed, because they all worked at it. But, you know, our youngest son got the most say, because it was his chore that he does diligently every single day. They decided to save the money, and they're going to save up for a video game. I was like, cool beans, kids. Let's learn some delayed gratification. I'm all about these amazing skills. So, all right. I will go ahead and add my scripts in afterwards, because we're not going to sit here and watch me lay down scripts. Just because I haven't quite decided. And in fact, actually, I probably won't do it until like the day before. So I don't want to add things now that may be obsolete come this week, because we are a week ahead, which I'm super excited about. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment down below. Everything's always linked down in the description box. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye now.